Hey guys, this is Matt here with Greens Guns and Range and Big Thicket Armory in Marshall, Texas, with the much anticipated overview of the first release of some of our suppressors. What we have available for demo right now are our Rimfire Suppressor, which is good for everything from 17 HMR all the way up to 22 mag. And then we also do some Centerfire rifle cans we're going to get into in just a second. The handgun cans should be out here in the next few weeks. And then there's also plans down the road to do some really fun, exciting things that you'll just have to keep on our Facebook page or tuned in here to our YouTube channel to figure out about all those. But first, let's talk about what makes a Big Thicket Armory suppressor better than the competition. And the answer, I think, comes down to two things. There are quality of materials and then the precision in which they're made. Essentially, each one of our suppressors starts as, depending on model, depending on exactly which one you're looking at, either a 4-inch diameter piece of aircraft grade aluminum or a 4-inch diameter piece of surgical stainless. We use only the highest quality materials. All of them are hammer forged, which means the inside, the very center of this material is by far the hardest part of the whole thing. That's the part we use. So if we start, for instance, one of our Centerfire rifle cans is about 1.5 inches in diameter. That starts as a 4-inch diameter block of aluminum that we tool down, and then the rest of it has to be recycled. So you're getting a very strong suppressor. So strong, in fact, that we're able to build them with no internal structure at all. There's no center tube running through the center of the baffle stack to support anything, any of that kind of stuff. And then the second reason they are better than the competition is the precision in which they're built. They are made by hand so that we can put micrometers on each and every single part of the operation to make sure that everything is entirely, absolutely perfect. A lot of suppressor manufacturers, when they, for instance, when they build a suppressor, they do it on a big 6-axis CNC machine or something like that, where they're looking for a tolerance of about 250 thou on a lot of the stuff, like the outside diameter and things like that. It's a 1/4 inch. We build ours on a 3/1000ths tolerance. If anything is outside 3/1000ths, that part gets thrown away, including the outside tube. So you can imagine that occasionally we come across a suppressor that has to be junked. But because of that precision, they shoot better, they are quieter, and of course they're nearly indestructible. When you combine that quality of materials with that quality of manufacturing, what you get is a suppressor that you can't hardly hurt. We have an integral gun we're going to show in just a second that we've shot to 6,000 rounds of full auto fire. The barrel and gas tube melted, but the suppressor was fine. Matter of fact, the suppressor is on it since we've rebuilt it, same can. We're trying to break our stuff and we're not yet able to do it. So we're pretty excited about that. But the other thing that means is when you get great craftsmanship and great quality of materials, we then offer a lifetime guarantee on all of our suppressors. Simply put, some of these suppressors you're going to see today have thousands of rounds through them, and they are on demo for here if you want to come by and try one out yourself. So they get shot a lot. They're constantly being taken out to the range and demoed. And we're pretty proud of that. We're pretty proud of how sturdy they've proven to be. But let's start talking about our actual suppressors, the ones we build. We're going to start down here. This little jewel is what I like to call the gateway drug. This is our Rimfire Suppressor. It's 6 inches long, less than 1 inch in diameter. The beautiful thing about this thing is even painted up, ready for sale, like this one in my hand, this suppressor weighs less than 4 ounces. I'll roll in a picture of it sitting on a scale, but they measure out right at 3.9 ounces. It's by far the lightest weight suppressor on the market. And again, great thing about it is solid tube. The end cap does come off. We simply unscrew that, baffle stack comes out, so it is user serviceable. But then we can also, with the addition of just a couple of extra stainless baffles in it, which does raise the weight, this can now be fired on 22 Magnum as well, as this one sits in its 4-ounce configuration is a 22 long rifle safe suppressor, and that is 22 long rifle at full auto. So it's a very cool can, Very, very slim. It looks great on the front of a CZ455. One of the rifles we're building a whole lot of is a CZ455 varmint bolt action little 22 long rifle that when we put the suppressor on the end, it just looks like it was meant to be there. I mean, everything just flows real pretty. We're pretty proud of that one. But that rimfire can will take 17 HMR all the way up to 22 mag on the same can. We like that about it. Moving this way, we get into the Centerfire Rifle suppressors. And we're going to start with one of the more popular ones, one of the ones that's been selling a whole lot of. Also happens to be the smallest and most efficient centerfire rifle can we make, and that's this one here. This one is on the host weapon. This one is on a pistol in 300 blackout, and that's exactly what this is. We make a 6-inch shorty can for 300 blackout, 6 inches, about 1.5 inches in diameter. Weight on this is well under a pound, about 13 ounces, and that's actually stainless baffles inside. So it's indestructible again, and hearing comfortable to shoot even out of semi-auto 300 blackouts. We're very, very proud of this particular can. It does well, and of course with 300 blackout you can run a little bit larger suppressor if you wanted to, but that's the only 6-inch can we make is in 300 blackout, just because 300 blackout suppresses so beautifully. And then in your centerfire rifles, which are going to be everything from 5.56 on up, even into the big ones, the 338 Lapuas and the 50 BMGs. We make two different sizes. The first one is a moderator. It's a 7.5-inch can. Again, depending on caliber and mission criteria, the insides are either aluminum or stainless, as well as the outside. You'll see we knurl this. Acts as a great heat sink, keeps the can cool, and allows you to be able to screw it on and off easily. Again, user serviceable. Baffle stack does simply pop out. Closed on this side. There is no way to remove anything from this side, again, because it starts with a solid block of aluminum. But these are very popular with guys that want to keep the weight, keep the length of their gun as short as possible, just because they are a little bit shorter than the next can we're going to talk about. But these do very, very well. Again, full auto rated, so we can shoot these on, for instance, we've done it on our full auto 5.56s do well. We've also done we've actually attached this can to a full auto 308, and it withstands 800 round burns out of a 308. So it glows cherry red. You can boil your skin on it when we're done, but the can is fine. Matter of fact, our cans are, again, built to such high quality that we can douse them with water to cool them off, and there's nothing inside that gets hurt. So that's our moderator. We make this in 5.56, 308, all the popular calibers, 270, 338 Lapua, 50 BMG, all of that will go on this same can. Then we also make our 9-inch suppressor. Slightly longer, of course. It is a little bit heavier. This one weighs in just over a pound when it's in its aluminum baffle configuration. Stainless, like this one is significantly heavier. This one's about 1.5 pounds. But inside of this one is all stainless steel. This one happens to be in 5.56. This one does great on bolt guns, for instance, big heavy barrel bolt guns. This one, the host weapon this one is usually on is a Tika varmint in 5.56 223. It does very, very well on that. But it is a little bit heavier than the moderator. So, you will have to weigh your options on that. It is quieter. And it, depending on gun and barrel and all that, it can cause, of course, a point of impact shift. All suppressors will. You're hanging something off the end of your barrel. But look, good news is that's repeatable. So as long as you know what your drop is with your suppressor and without, you can simply dial that in your scope. But again, we make this in 5.56 on up, 308, 270, 6.5, all the popular calibers, all the way up to the 338 Lapuas and 50 BMGs run this same exact size can. And then, lastly, the other things we have to demo, one of the ones I am the most proud of is this one here. Oh, this is an example of one of the integrally suppressed guns we make. This one is in 5.56. Our goal here was to make a gun that was, even in 5.56, quiet enough to run inside of a house, and for our law enforcement guys that might be running comm sets, in-ears, that we wanted it to be quiet enough that they could run their comms and it not interfere with their comm sets. So what we've got here is a integrally suppressed gun. The suppressor is actually built back on the barrel, and we're able to keep this at 16 inches overall length, barrel length. So we can transfer this on just one tax stamp rather than an SBR stamp and the suppressor stamp. So you get a little bit of both, best of both worlds here. It's shorter, and we can transfer it to you on one tax stamp. Again, user serviceable, end comes off. The way the handguard and all is built, we can get this suppressor off. It does require a little bit of work, of course. It is pinned and welded and all that. But for instance, if you ever blew a gas tube or something, the receiver is not trash. We can actually remove that. It will need to come back to me to remove. It's not going to screw on and off. We should go ahead and state that. The ATF requires that if it to be integral, it cannot come off under normal means. So it does require machining to get it off. But again, 16.5 inch overall length. This is the gun that we have shot the most. It's been demoed to several law enforcement agencies, and we're not, for the sake of their security and ours as well, we're not going to mention which security forces have looked at this. But there are some federal jurisdictions that are interested in it. Simply put, they're finding out that it is quieter than the competition, and it's the only upper receiver that they've ever shot that when the thing gets hot, my advice is douse the whole gun in water. We actually shoot it often here at the range, and when we're done with it, we throw it in a big Rubbermaid tote full of water. The barrel we use is high enough quality, the bolt carrier group, the receiver, all that's top notch, and so there is no chintzy cheap parts in here. This right here we can sell as 3 different options. We can do it either as a modification to your existing upper receiver if you bring me your upper. We can also build the upper receiver, and then that is transferred to you, or we can build it as the complete gun. So you've got several different options there. We do this in 5.56 and 300 blackout. We're also doing it in pistol caliber carbines. So if you've got one of those ARs in 9mm or 40 or 45, we do the same trick too. And then we're also doing integral suppressors on 22 long rifles. Right now we've done them for the Ruger 1022, and then again the CZ 455 varmint, the rifle we looked at earlier with one of our screw-on suppressors. So that's pretty exciting. Essentially, if you're looking for a suppressor, we do a complete line of them. We sell them all. We service them here. They are, again, guaranteed for life. They're just something to really, really, really be proud of. Those that have looked at these in wholesale lots and that kind of things, my dealers, they're all very impressed with them. They are quieter than the competition. In most cases, they are lighter than the competition, and most importantly, they're simply built much higher quality. And if you're going to sell something like a suppressor, you need to know that you're selling the best of the best. But those are about all of the suppressors we have available right now. Like I said, we are working on the handgun suppressors and a couple of other things that you'll have to just keep out for. But if you've got a gun and you're interested in suppressing it, we are the place to go. We do the barrel threading as well as the mounting and testing and all that kind of stuff. One more bit about buying from us. These suppressors are in stock. What does that mean to you? If you're the consumer, that means that what you're buying from me is a built suppressor. You're not buying a serial number that I'm going to make for you in the 9 months or so it takes for your tax stamp to come back. You're buying a suppressor. And so there's nothing in the law that says you can't come down here and shoot your suppressor on our range. I just can't let you take it home. So a lot of guys have been doing that. They've been buying a suppressor. We've been sending off their tax paperwork, and while they're waiting on their tax paperwork to come in, their suppressor's got their name on it in my safe. Simply let them have it. They go down there, play with it under watchful eye of one of our staff. And then they bring it back when they're done, and that's what we do. The other thing that means is if you're interested, if you're a dealer or a wholesaler and you're interested in purchasing any of our suppressors, again, you're not buying a potential suppressor. you're buying a suppressor that is in stock, has been tested, and is ready to go. So by the time all the forms come back to make it legal for me to transfer it to another dealer, I'll have them boxed up and ready to go. That's huge, because I know a lot of guys struggle with other manufacturers and them telling them it might be 8 or 9 months before their suppressors are in. Mine are built, ready to go. As soon as we get payment and paperwork done, they ship. So that's pretty exciting. And we are at full production on the suppressors you see in front of you. So if there's ever one that does run out of stock, I've got another one on its way. It's just that easy. But anyways, if you have any other questions, you can contact us on our Facebook page, by phone, by email, here on Facebook. All of that information, of course, like always, is down below. You can also purchase these on our website at greensguns.com. There'll be a link to that as well. And then I do want to make a special, a special request that if you are a wholesaler or dealer and interested in buying these, there are steep discounts involved in buying these from us. We want to make sure that our guys can make some money on them when they sell them. They are priced competitively with the other guys, but we allow for a little bit better markup than most. So, of course, give us an email or give us a call or whatever. We'll be glad to drive out and demo them to you if you're interested. I've been all over the south of the United States this summer, and I'll do more of it soon. So just give us a call. My name is Matt. You can call and talk to me, or the other contact here would be Michelle. But hit me up if you need any other information, if you've got any questions about any of the things you've seen. And of course, if you're in the area, stop on by. All of these suppressors are available for testing on our range. So like always, thanks for watching.